What is up, cool kids? My name's Gavin, I'm that cool trainer, and today we have our week 5 team builder against HitmonScott. And this is our last regular season match. We are unwinning so far. I guess that's technically not true. Since one person in the GSL, JJ, goes by the channel J2 he's been on vacation for a long time. I don't know. But he's been unable to do battles, so they're basically just giving everybody a bye that week and a win, and that happened to be the first week, which I missed. So technically, I wasn't even in it yet, but I'm not going to complain. But for this week, before I start, I made some trades. We were allowed 3 trades, and they had to be done before playoffs started, so I figured, let's give Scott a handful. So I traded, who did I have? Let me pull that up. Okay. Well, I guess pictures aren't showing up. Okay, so this is what I had at first. Bulu, Rotom Wash, Greninja, Fortress, Crobat, Volcanion. I traded Rotom for Alolan Marowak, and I traded Fortress for Serena. I feel like with Rotom, I just had too many water types, because I had Rotom, Greninja, Volcanion, and Golisopod. So I decided to pick up a Pokemon with a potential electric immunity without being a ground type, because I am fairly weak to ice as well. And Volcanion being my only fire type was kind of detrimental to me, so I decided to pick up Alolan Marowak, incredibly powerful Pokemon. Relatively versatile, gets a decent amount of coverage, very good offensively, very good. And Fortress I trade for Serena to get another electric resistance, not immunity, and I know I needed a spinner, so I decided to pick Serena instead of Fortress. And I did that because I still have a lot of hazard options. Greninja gets spikes and toxic spikes. Look at the lower half here. Golisopod gets, oh, this isn't what I'm looking for. Where are you? There you are. Golisopod gets spikes, Gligar gets, rocks, Uxie gets rocks. I traded Bastiodon for Girder. Not having a fighting type. Can you even see that? No. Okay, Bastiodon's down here. I traded Bastiodon for Girder, because not having a fighting type sucks. And Eviolite Girder is just as crazy bulky as Gligar is. The only thing it doesn't really have recovery. But it's got 3 outstanding abilities in Guts, which isn't super useful on a Girder because you usually run Eviolite. But it's got Iron Fist and it's got Sheer Force, 2 great offensive abilities. So Girder fits my playstyle really well, being bulky offense. So yeah. But this week, I decided that everybody pretty much knows that I like bulky offense and I like slow, really well thought out teams. This time I decided not to do that. This time I'm going as much offense as I literally can. So, leading the pack is Greninja Sly. I actually decided to nickname this week. Sly, the Greninja Life Orb Protean, with Dark Pulse, Extra Sensory, Ice Beam, and Hydro Pump. Now looking at Scott's team, I picked Dark Pulse, because I normally don't run Dark Pulse. Normally I run Grass Knot instead. I ran Dark Pulse because of the Mew. The Mew, the Sigilif, and you can't really see it there, but the Chimecho. Or you can't see my mouse on it, but the Chimecho. Not that I'm super, and the Claydol, I guess. But I'm not worried about the Chimecho really. Sigilif and Claydol would be covered by the things. It's mostly for the Mew, because that Mew scares the living crap out of me. Because the biggest thing in league matches, like draft league matches, is versatility. Mew is out besides Smeargle, and Smeargle's just, in my opinion, not a great Pokemon. Mew is by far the most versatile Pokemon that you can get. It's probably the single best Pokemon in Draft League. So that scares the crap out of me. So I put a move on, I think, every one of these Pokemon that helps out against Mew. So for Greninja, it's Dark Pulse. Extra Sensory I did mainly for these two here, the Mega Venusaur, which also really scares me, and the Toxapex, which I'm not super worried about, but it's annoying to have to deal with. That's why that's there. And then, does Extra Sensory hit anything else? Hitmontop gets hit pretty bad by it. Ice Beam's there for the Flygon and the Sigilyph. I decided to go Hydro Pump over Skull, because I want that Rotom Heat dead. That Rotom Heat is such a problem for my team. Yeah, so that's pretty much Greninja. Now if you look, his team isn't super fast. I looked, and the fastest thing on his team, barring a Choice Scarf, is the Liepard, and it's base 106 speed. Base 106, let me show you. Go to a new team, add Pokemon, Liepard, base 106 speed. If you go max speed investment, let's just get it speed up, which is Night works. He gets to 342 speed. Can you see that? Yes, 342 speed. So I figure, you know, oh, that's not what I wanted. Really. Words. If something's should be Choice Scarf, Greninja's not gonna outspeed it anyway, unless it's like Choice Scarf, Claydol, or Toxapex, but that's not gonna happen. So I decided to do Modest instead of Timid, and that just so happens to come out to 343 to be guaranteed to outspeed that Liepard. I don't have much for the Liepard, but a Life Orb Hydro Pump is not going to feel good. So basically I EV'd everything that I could to outspeed the Liepard. That's mostly just Sly, Espeon, and Crobat. So that's Greninja. Greninja, I'm nervous about Greninja because it could either be great or it could be really bad, depending on how I play it. Because like I said, Mew can have any number of coverage options. Literally any number of coverage options. So I'm really hesitant about it because he could predict me to use Dark Pulse and then go for, God, I don't even know, like anything. U-turn, Signal Beam, Focus Blast. It gets literally everything. So that's kind of a thought. I have used Greninja against Mega Venusaurs before, and when it's neutral, I will live a Sludge Bomb as long as it hasn't set up with Growth first. So that's nice to know. That's really nice to know. Extra Sensory, I haven't calced against the Toxapex, but I think it does at least, like, I want to say at least like 55 to 60%. Hitmontop, I'm not overly concerned about because I'm not running any hazards on this team. Sigilyph, I'm not super worried about. Flygon, I outspeed. Outside of a Dragon Dance, then that's trouble. Yeah, and then the lower three here, Chimecho, Liepard, and Claydol, I'm not super worried about. So this one's going to be a little bit longer. So we have the Espies, because the Espies are coming up. The Espies are Espeon, holding the Psychium Z with Psychic, Heal Bell, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Rock. Now, Psychium Z is there explicitly for Mega Venusaur. Guaranteed OHKO, no matter what set they're running. Max HP, max special defense boosting nature, guaranteed OHKO still. Which is crazy useful, because I don't think that he would ever leave in a Venusaur against an Espeon. Because outside of Hidden Power, it doesn't get any super effective coverage, to my knowledge. Actually, I take that back, it does get knockoff. But you can't knock off a Psychium Z, so I'm fairly confident that we would live a knockoff. I brought Heal Bell just in case they do get Toxic Spike set up on me. That's pretty much it, just for utility. And the only other really good coverage option that Espeon gets is Dazzling Gleam, and that doesn't really help against much besides Flygon and Liepard, because it already has Psychic for the Hitmontop. so I didn't see it super useful. Shadow Ball for the Sigilif, for Chimecho and Claydol, and for the Mew as well. And then Hidden Power Rock, I was like, man, that Rotom Heat really bones my entire team. So I'm like, let's just give it a random super effective coverage move. And I decided to go for Rock because I already have a decent amount of water between Sly and Vodka? Or Volcanion. So I should go for Rock, which isn't super useful. Water probably would be better because it also hits the Claydol and isn't resisted by anything on the team outside of Toxapex. Yeah, I will switch that to Hidden Power Water. Hidden Power Water. So I started Hidden Power Water because it hits Rotom super effective, it hits Claydol super effective, and it hits everything else for neutral. Worst comes to worst. So that EVs. So I again EV'd it to be 343 speed. Speed ties my Greninja. Its speed, Espeon's speed isn't high enough to be able to. I think it has to be 122 is the lowest speed to afford going modest instead of timid. So sacrifices some power, but still hits a lot harder than Greninja will, especially with the Psychium Z. So that's that. Then we have the God Zangoose. I could not go a regular season, an entire draft season without using Zangoose once. So this is my lowest tier that I'm bringing. I think Espeon. Yeah, Espeon's RU and Zangoose is NU. So Zangoose, flat out, hits like a freaking truck. Because once you get Toxic Orb with Toxic Boost and Facade, it gets to a base 140 base power move off of. I'm pretty sure Toxic Boost doubles your attack. Physical attacks have 1.5 times power. So multiply that by, or plus another 70 to that. So you get base 210 attack. So you're basically throwing out stronger Z moves every turn. So the strategy with Zangoose is very straightforward. It's very predictable, but it can be really effective. So turn 1, you protect. Turn 2, or you protect so you can get poison. Then you hit what's in front of you. And outside of Ghost, nothing is like not bothered by normal fighting coverage. Because on this team, only Scizor resists normal, and it's close combat's neutral and still going to take out a big chunk unless it's max HP, max defense. Toxic Orb, Facade does at least 60%, I think, depending on the spread. At least 60% to Venusaur. Rotom Heat takes a big chunk. We also can't be burned because we'll be toxic. That's also kind of useful. It's kind of a blessing and a curse to have Heal Bell on Espeon for that, because then we have to waste a turn protecting and let them potentially set up either hazards or get set up with if it's the Flygon. We also have Quick Attack for coverage because Zangoose is not the fastest in the world. It's only base 90, which is outsped by the Mew. The Sigilif is like base 96 speed, which I did not know. So it's outsped by Mew, Sigilif, Flygon, Liepard. I don't know Chimecho's speed. I'm gonna look. I don't think it's very good. 65. Yeah, no. Wow, Chimecho's really bad. No offense, Scott. Okay, so that's basically Zangoose. Hits like a truck, max HP, max attack, because you can't afford to sacrifice any speed. Then we have Brobat, our other counter for Mecha Venusaur. So once again, decided to, because Brobat's speed is even higher than Greninja's, I could take more off of speed and put it in HP, and I could afford to be Adamant instead of Jolly. So we are Choice Banded Infiltrator Crobat with Cross Poison, Brave Bird, U-Turn, and Quick Attack. I chose Quick Attack. I'm still on the fence because it really just doesn't have great coverage options, really, for physical, it's got a really good amount, or like a shockingly good amount for special, but not so much physical. I could run Zen Headbutt, but that's not really. The only thing that'd be really good against would be the Venusaur, but we have Brave Bird, which is much better. We the Toxapex, which I'm not overly concerned about anyway, and the Hitmontop, which, you know, same thing as Brave Bird. So quick attack, just in case I absolutely need priority, in case, you know, he's running, you know, Focus Sash, Flygon, that's set up already. I mean, that's a very specific scenario, but you never know what's going to happen. So I decided to go with quick attack. So, like I said, max HP, max attack, as much speed as I needed, and the rest in HP. So then we have Vodka, our Volcanion, because it's fire water. So we decided to go not full speed because it's not very fast to begin with. So we decided to go leftovers, and Water Absorb is the only ability available for Volcanion, so we're sticking with that. So we're going Flamethrower, Steam Eruption, Sludge Wave for for the Sylveon, because I don't have too much for the Sylveon. But Flamethrower is pretty much mandatory because of that Scizor. Steam Eruption, general good stab move, helps with the Rotom Heat, even though I'm probably not going to be staying in against it. And just a general very good move, base 110 stab from a 130 special attack. It's gonna be hurting a lot. Not much else to say about Volcanion. Oh, I chose Will-O-Wisp as well. It doesn't have too many really strong physical threats on the team, but just picking up chip damage off of burns will be nice. I'm gonna try to not over-predict like I did the last 2 weeks that cost me the game pretty much, both weeks. So if I'm unsure or I think he's gonna switch, I'll just play it safe and Willow. For example, like Volcanion versus Scizor. There's nothing Scizor can do to a Volcanion that makes it afraid. So instead of Flamethrower, if he switches into the Toxapex, getting a burn on the Toxapex could be pretty clutch. Just to make it recover that extra turn. Or if he switches into, I don't know, the Flygon, burn the Flygon, that'd be really clutch. So just random utility like that, just for situational things. Then we have Clubber Lang, our Alolan Marowak. So yeah, so this one's kind of long, longer than normal. We have Thick Club, pretty much the only item to use on an Alolan Marowak. When we chose Lightning Rod today, because Rockhead is also a really good ability for Alolan Marowak, because firing off Thick Club Flare Blitzes with no recoil is insane. But I am super afraid of that Rotom Heat, and short of Rotom having like Hidden Power Water or Hidden Power Rock or something like that, it really cannot touch Marowak, because Overheat will not do a ton, and obviously Electric Jet moves can't even hurt it, and it can't be burned by it, so that's also really nice. So we run Flare Blitz, Earthquake for the Toxapex, because I do have a couple things for the Toxapex. Shadow Bone for the Mew, and the Sigilif and the Chimecho, and then Stone Edge. Why did I pick Stone Edge? So I can hit the Rotom Heat for super effective. I debated doing Rock Slide instead, but I'm like, I'm just going full offense this time. Screw it. Same reason that I'm doing Hydro Pump on Greninja instead. So that is the team for this week. Oh yeah, max HP, max attack. Well, some Spadaf, but not any real. So I like our chances this game. These are all Pokemon that, with the exception of Volcanion, but I've used Volcanion pretty much every match this season. These are all Pokemon that I'm very, very familiar with. So hopefully that will give me a really big advantage. All of these are Pokemon that I've used in VGC or in just random Wi-Fi battles on the channel before, so I'm very familiar with all these. So hopefully that gives me a little bit of a leg up on Scott. Hopefully we can end the regular season with a big old W. Wu-Tang. Why? Thank you so much for watching. This will be up on Friday. Keep an eye out for the actual match coming out tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please like and or subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch at ThatCoolTrainer. And until next time, smile later.